Hello everyone. I'm Kim Curtis, CEO of Wealth Legacy Institute. And I had a question in comments from Tom asking when is it appropriate to file an insurance claim? I thought that was a wonderful question because the big concern that all of us have is whether it's a homeowner's claim or an auto accident is we're afraid to make the claim because if we do, we're afraid our rates will go up. So, what is the appropriate time and when? Let's talk about that and dig in a little bit. And any of you who have had your own experience in filing a claim and want to share your story, please pipe in to the comments because this is such a fascinating story and there's so many variables that dictate when it makes sense. So, there are about 50% property claims that result in increased rates. And generally, when it's tied to weather related claims, that does not result in an increased claim more often than not. So, weather related in many states, it does not increase a claim like hail damage or something like that. But all other times, it's about a 50% chance that you may get a rate hike. So, the very first thing is if damage is involved. When I think of what is your deductible for collision and liability, I personally tend to have a higher deductible because I know I'm not making a claim on anything small. So, generally, when we have insurance, it's for things that we can't afford or that would hurt us or damage us if that happened. So, financially. So, generally, when you think of what your deductible is, you want to kind of at a minimum have it at 500 bucks, maybe a thousand, maybe even higher depending on your comfort level. But any like 100 bucks or less than 500 bucks is probably too small because then you're more likely to submit a claim and that's when you start to experience high insurance. So, the first thing is what is your deductible? Is it an amount that makes you feel comfortable? So, when you do submit a claim, remember, say it's $500, you have to pay that 500 before the remaining balance of that property damage or the vehicle is it gets paid for. So, that's the very first thing is make sure that your property casualty deductible is an appropriate amount that allows you not to have to submit a claim all the time. The second thing is liability. If you're in an accident with someone else and you both pull over and it's a fender bender and you agree not to do anything about it, it looks like not a non issue. Um, I would think twice when someone else is involved in an accident because they could go home and change their mind and then file a claim. And since you didn't do anything, you may be denied because you didn't follow the protocol of the timing of when to file that claim. So what I would do if someone else is involved is I'd be very careful. I would take pictures. And then I probably would file a police report and not necessarily notify the insurance company of that. And you could do police reports online relatively easy. So at least you've identified it, you've put a report, and you just haven't notified the insurance company. Um, again, it's so easy to think that there's no damage, and then all of a sudden, something that looks simple can be very expensive in, like, say, a fender. So I guess what I would say on if someone else is involved, I probably would think twice and more lean in filing a claim just to protect yourself that you don't get denied later. Whew. It's so frustrating because it's your right to you pay for insurance. It's your right to get paid out for that claim. So I think when it comes to homeowners insurance, it's easier to make an assessment of whether or not to file that claim. Again, it's tied to your deductible. Can you afford it? And generally anything close to your deductible, I would not file a claim. The insurance company actually has Clue reports, CLUE. It's a comprehensive loss underwriting exchange. And similar to medical information, they share all the information with different insurance companies so that there's a record of you if you're a multiple person claiming with different carriers over time. So be aware that there's a collective bureau that shares data that other insurance carriers have access to in terms of your claims history. Let's see. I think that generally covers it. I wish I had a better answer because the really big question is it depends. Generally, anything close to your deductible, you do not want to file a claim. So I hope this helps. Please share any incidences that you have had with your carrier or insights into how to better prepare yourself of when it's appropriate to file a claim. And I thank you for your time. And please, if you felt like this was helpful, share this with others. Thank you very much.